shattered like broke glass. Threats make them sign out. I redefine routes. We the ones Chris Webber calling timeout.
Now from the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, this is EA Sports coverage of the National Football League. Tonight on Sunday Night Primetime, it's the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers.
Younghoe Koo set to kick off.
We welcome you, Mike Tirico, along with Greg Olson. Younghoe Koo going to get this one going. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
They'll run here with the rookie. Room to run right away. And he'll be taken down as he takes it just shy of midfield. Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a first down.
Well, it's hard to imagine starting a game much better than that. Great play design. You can tell all week they love that play to start the game, and, man, you can see why.
Get set. Here's a first carry for their running back. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
So everything this defense talks about, Mike, is creating negative plays. It's one of the best run defenses in football. Everything is about suffocating you at the line of scrimmage, make you work for everything you get.
Handoff here, up the middle, finding space inside the 40. A terrific run there. He's finally taken down at the 25-yard line. That one good for 29.
We had a feeling coming into the game that they were going to get this guy plenty of touches, and you can see from this early success why. The defense is going to have to make some adjustments here because they have had no answers thus far.
To the ground, a first down run. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 12-yard line.
They face 2nd down and 7. Get set. Watch out. Stop. They'll stick with him again. And they'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
To throw is Purdy. He pulls it in around the 5. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now, decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down?
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem. And that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
Get set. Here it is on 4th down. And he gets out wide. He'll go to the end zone. Francisco. That touchdown, number 11 on the year. Extra point by Little is good. And the 49ers will take a 7-0 lead. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. This fielded at about the 9. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Good return as he takes it across the 30. On their first play of the game.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
To the air on 3rd down is McCarthy. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Addison that time. And it's going to be 4th down. It'll be a punt coming from the Vikings. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. They'll begin here on the ground. And they'll gain about 6 there as it's up past the 35-yard line.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and
3. So, from the 37, here's 2nd down and 3.
Get set. Start.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
Outside. Go. 18. Watch out. Go.
3rd and short. Here's Purdy. That is caught. Finding Higgins. A gain of 16 yards. 1st down, 49ers.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
To the tight end, and he fits it in on the corner route. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. That one good for 26 yards.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often. So it might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
Get set. Up.
They'll give on the ground. And he'll take this down to the 2-yard line, but they are in business. First and goal coming up.
A huge advantage to red zone offense is the ability to run the ball. In this case, I thought he was going to score. Takes it all the way down inside the 2. Sets up first and goal.
Outside.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. That his second touchdown of the game. Numbers 11-12 on the season. Extra point by Little is good. And the 49ers move out on top 14-0. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Now, here comes a return from the 9. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Travis Scott on the ground, and he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. Vikings football as we begin this second quarter. They've got it with a second down and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give up the middle. Once again, this defense up to the task. They stop it for no gain yet again. And now it's third down.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
14 yards on that pass play there. First down, Minnesota.
You just love to see this effort, especially on third down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
Hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete, but pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Throwing on second down is McCarthy. That is intercepted. And they extend the lead. The defense joining the party. A pick six for a touchdown. Greg, they are extending this lead out.
Yeah, now you've just seen both sides just make their impact felt here in the first half. The offense has done their part, and now it's the defense that is able to capitalize on the turnover and take it all the way back for the pick six.
Vikings, nothing.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
From the 35, it's first and 10. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick first down.
46-yard line.
shows off those strong legs running through one tackle. Give him a gain of 8. From the 46, here's second and a couple. A handoff as they try to run it here. Crazy. And they'll finally run him down, but he takes it inside the 10-yard line. A big play for Minnesota. 38 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. It's first and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line. And a good job following his blockers. A gain of 7. It'll be second down.
A gain of 8 brings up second and goal.
Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. Trying to find a crease in that mass of humanity, but he's going to come up short.
So there's multiple factors, Mike, that make blitzes successful. So, of course, there's the initial design. Can you attack the vulnerabilities of the offense's blocking scheme? And then in this case, the next phase is the timing. You can see this linebacker knew exactly when that ball was going to be snapped. The offensive line had no chance to identify and pick him up. And
good blocking, and he's in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg, could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
And they will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10.
Get set, get set. Up.
Play action now. Purdy. He'll find his tight end. Kittle on the right side. And no chance to turn and go. That one's good for just a couple.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 8.
Outside. Start.
Up the middle they go. Good running there. Getting close to midfield. Let's mark him there. And a 1st down.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Vikings' 47-yard line.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Outside.
Now again, up the middle. He plunges forward for a couple of yards. Tackled there by Mack Wilson.
At the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Here's a 3rd down and 4.
Get set, get set. Line around up.
Here's Purdy. To the right side, that's St. Brown. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
And the 49ers
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick up the rest after the catch.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Purdy. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line.
Two minutes remain here in this first half. Greg and I back with you from Santa Clara in a moment. 2nd and 7.
Get set, get set. 118, watch out. Up.
Now a handoff, running right. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard.
He's brought down at the 31. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here now, 3rd and 5.
Outside, yellow. 118, 118,
To throw, it's Purdy. And he's into a slide to avoid the contact. Does so successfully, and it's a first down.
Anytime a quarterback decides to tuck it and turn himself into a runner, you can just feel the sideline hold their breath. They're just hoping that he gets down, picks up enough for the first down, but more importantly, protects himself so he can get himself back up and continue on.
Is caught left side by St. Brown. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with 1st and goal. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this first half. Well, here's the chance to cap off a great half. They have it 1st and goal. Here's a run. And he's into the end zone yet again. Touchdown, San Francisco. His big game continues. His 3rd touchdown this one. Numbers 11, 12, and 13 on the year.
Niners 28, Vikings 7.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Safe kick taken at the 5. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
McCarthy now to throw on 1st and 10. Oh, a huge mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
get set, yellow. 118, watch out. Up.
To throw on 1st down is Purdy. That pass caught by Amon-Ra. And he's going to have the 1st down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line.
And the
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
A short one here, caught by McBride. Timeout 49ers. That is their second. Clock is stopped for 26 seconds until the break.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
Second down, they need 7. Shotgun snap to Purdy. He's got it inside the 5. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line. The Niners will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go until halftime. Halftime is looming, but a chance to build on that already sizable lead right here. First and goal. To throw once more, it's Purdy. That's to the end zone, but they cannot connect. It's incomplete.
Really nice job there defensively, adjusting on the fly. They loaded up with a lot of big bodies to stop the run, and then it was the big tight end that tried to leak out towards the back of the boundary, so they were able to get there just in time and forced the incomplete.
And he overshot his man. Out of the end zone, that one's incomplete.
You can feel them starting to press a little bit, especially with this passing game. They find themselves so close to the end zone, they got to get it over the goal line. You got to be a little bit more accurate. You got to be a little bit smarter with the ball. And right now, the timing, the spacing, it's just not matching up.
Two incomplete passes now lead to this third down and goal. Purdy gonna put it up again, and that is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way. And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
This placed in the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they get the timeout. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Setting up to throw is McCarthy. Throwing downfield, right side, and it's caught. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. So, 1 half in the books. Second half coming up. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Cam Little to kick off.
Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. A return now from the 4. Get across the 20, mark them at 22-yard line.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Third quarter begins with a run. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
At this point in the game, Mike, we just haven't seen a lot of fire out of this offense. Here's another run, simple handoff, no gain.
And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards. It'll be a Vikings first down.
And he continues to carry the ball well. Another nice one here. But as they find themselves continuing to trail here in the second half, the opposing team's defense is not really concerned about the run game. They need to find a way to use the pass to get the lead and then go back to this run game to close the game out.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Max doing everything in his power to try to get that ball around the edge to the boundary, but just great pursuit there by this linebacker, staying with his angles, running through contact, and he makes the play behind the line.
On second down, here's McCarthy. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. Nick Bosa. He gets in for an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100. It would have certainly been a terrific career to this point. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's third and long. From the gun, here's McCarthy. He's going to take a shot. Sends it down the middle. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, Mike, I think it's pretty clear what the message was by this head coach at halftime. He said, listen, guys, we're behind. We're trailing. We're going to come out early in this second half and be aggressive from the get-go and cut into this deficit. But oftentimes, reckless decision-making, over-aggressive play calling leads to turnovers. Now, this defense finds themselves heading back out onto the field a little earlier than expected, but they need to hold serve and keep the score right where it is.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. Try the right side this time. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on third down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on first and second down to gain positive yards. Stay on track, because you don't want to be in third and pass too often in today's NFL.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get to the backfield and bring him down. I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
He is stopped at 25. The drive will begin then. That is caught out wide on the RPO. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's McCarthy. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. First down, Minnesota.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
So they go with a first down run, hoping to just get them some positive yards and get themselves into a good second down situation, but now they find themselves in second and long. So the more you give defenses the opportunity, Mike, to defend you one-dimensionally. So in this case,
that's the fourth time tonight he's been intercepted. And the Niners will have great field position right around midfield.
At their own 49-yard line.
Outside. Watch out.
Wow, tough to bring down that time. Surging forward for a pickup of 6. Second down.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And up until this point, this is not something that we've seen a lot of. This running back's had a really nice day. So in this case, this rep goes to the defense.
Outside. Watch out.
Third and short. Purdy. He'll get this one complete to St. Brown. And he'll take this one in. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown, 49ers. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
A bit of a one-man wrecking crew out there for a minute, huh, Mike? I mean, dishing out punishment to every defender in his way. I'll tell you, the next guy who comes in one-on-one, he's going to have that run in the back of his mind.
From 29, here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. Open man downfield, it's Addison. Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far, but that one gives him a first down.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
On first down, here's McCarthy. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. And it will be another turnover as this defense does it again. And so much for a nice game through the passing game. Not finishing the play, fumbling the football, and the offense has turned it over, Greg.
Mike, give credit to the defender here for not quitting on this play. They just give up a chunk play in the passing game. He stays after it, and instead of just making a simple tackle, he attacks the ball, knocks it loose, and creates a big takeaway for this defense. Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
He'll bring this to the 40. That's good enough to move those chains. It's a first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest, and while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
They'll run. He'll try the left side now. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this third quarter of play. So, 3 quarters now in the books. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. Second down, they need 3.
Outside. Here we go. Watch out.
Fourth quarter begins on the ground. Ooh, some hitting going on now. He was rocked right at the line of scrimmage.
These are the impact plays that this linebacker is capable of, Mike. Not only dissecting and determining where the ball was going, but then to shoot through the line of scrimmage and make this tackle for a loss. That's a big-time play by a really good player.
Here's a 3rd down and 4.
Get set. Hut.
They'll try to get this one on the ground. On 4th down, here's Matt Araiza to punt. And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. On 1st and 10, it's McCarthy. Quick throw here is complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but up past the 35. Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a 1st down.
And this completion certainly won't be changing the outcome of the game by any means, but I do think there is something to be said for teams that continue to fight. They continue to try to at least finish this game and have something to build off of going into next week.
And he will not be able to turn up field. He'll drop him behind the line.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He's got his man. It's Jefferson. And he's going to be out of bounds right around midfield. The risk pays off to the tune of 16 yards.
It's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the 4th quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense get a little lackadaisical.
And it will finally be brought down at the Niners' 16-yard line. A big play for Minnesota. It's a gain of 34. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown. Give them a dozen yards on that one and give them 1st and goal.
Here we go.
In motion, it's Jefferson. And he is going the wrong way. Tackled back at the 7.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
Now from the 7, it's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Here's McCarthy. Oh, for the 5th time, he is intercepted. So going to take possession here just shy of the 20.
These second-half red zone opportunities are critical, Mike. I mean, you're not going to score every single time you get down here, but it feels like at this point in the game, this might be my last chance to get this deep. You've got to make the most of those limited opportunities. At least come away with 3. You're hoping for 6, but in this case, you come away with 0.
And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground.
Brings up second and a yard.
Ball on the 27. Here's second and a yard.
Get set. 18. Up.
Here's a run going left, and he'll have enough to move the chains. We'll take this forward for about 3 yards.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. Second and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10.
Outside. Out.
Handoff here, up the middle, and he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 7.
Get set. Get set. Up.
Back to the ground, he'll get it again. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain.
We spent so much time, Mike, talking about these defensive backs and their ability in pass coverage, but when you also have a defensive back that can make plays in the run game, especially behind the line of scrimmage, man, those guys are just so hard to find. That was a heck of a job here by this guy.
Yellow. Outside. Up.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. Back to the right side, caught by McBride. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
Nearly a good one. A hit at the 6, but continues in the end zone. It's a touchback. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
To throw is McCarthy. Right side, and is brought in by Felton. And he's got it to the 35-yard line.
Gain of 15 yards. And the Vikings first down.
McCarthy now to throw on 1st and 10. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because, think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
And this is too far out in front. That one's incomplete.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
He's going to let one fly for Addison. That one broken up. It is incomplete. This defensive secondary, they have been really a no-fly zone all game long. It continues here and brings up 4th down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
They'll go. Here's McCarthy. That's going to be caught. And he's going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down. How about that for a big play on 4th and 10? They get almost exactly what they needed to keep this drive going. To throw once more, here's McCarthy. Moving to his right. Now he'll run. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Niners have got it. one of those exciting moments in a football game. There is a turnover and a fumble, and all of a sudden the guys who were on defense, they're starting to think like offensive players, Greg. They really wanted to take that back the other way.
And I think for that offense, they're fortunate that didn't lead to a touchdown, because for a minute, I thought the defender was going to take it all the way back. But either way, winds up with a pretty nice return, and his offense is in great position.
Let's go. Bronco 80. Ready?
The defense still has 3 timeouts. We'll see if they decide to use them here as the offense starts taking a knee.
Ready?
2nd and 11.
Cougar 19.
Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So a win here for the 49ers. And it was their defense that led the way as they pitched the shutout in the second half. No points allowed, and they cruised to victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.